If we can use 10% of the abandoned or inactive sites, then we can meet that renewable energy goal.
Hi, you're watching the Global Energy Show 5 by 5. I'm Rachel Gregory, and today we're talking solar energy. Alberta has over 3,400 orphan wells, and founder of Renewal project, Keith Hirsche, is here to give us some insight on how he plans to tackle this problem. In January, there was a headline coining Alberta's orphan wells as a looming multi-billion-dollar problem. However, your project, Renewal, has a solution. So what is the big idea behind the Renewal project?
Alberta has a lot of opportunity to move into things like solar energy and wind energy. And as we're doing that, we're typically taking big land allocations to site the projects. What we started working on about 5 years ago now is to take some of the land under these inactive oil and gas sites and in suitable areas and utilize those same land locations for siting small renewable energy solar projects.
Can you tell us more about how this opportunity provides skilled individuals within the oil and gas industry the opportunity to learn more about renewable energy projects?
My hope is that we can break down some of these barriers which are artificially present in Alberta and utilize the skills that we have in the oil and gas sector. We partnered with Iron and Earth, which does workforce training for people from the oil and gas industry and Indigenous workers to work in the renewable energy field. And we're also partnered with Medicine College for doing worker retraining programs.
Petroleum Services Association of Canada estimates that to close a well requires between 35 to 50 different services and employs between 40 and 60 different workers. So how does this compare to the Renewal concept of turning inactive wells into solar energy projects?
We have these leases that need to be cleaned up. So all of those same jobs that are required that you mentioned are still being done. But what we can offer is that rather than taking the roads and power lines out that are already servicing the site, by reusing those roads and power lines, we actually improve the economics of the solar installation. And also we save money for the oil and gas site closure, because typically there's a 4-year period after the site closure is done to wait for the vegetation to reestablish. And so during that vegetation reestablishment phase, we can be using the site for generating solar electricity.
What makes the Renewal project so unique?
Basically, are able to put the renewable energy projects out at a comparable cost to utility scale projects without taking more land from agriculture. If we reuse just 10% of the inactive or abandoned oil and gas infrastructure in the province for solar, we could achieve 6 to 100 megawatts of solar generation by just reusing 10% of these leases, and we wouldn't require any additional land from agriculture. Our hope is that by saving some of the reclamation costs for the surface reclamation, that we can accelerate some of the well closure.
What impact does this have on achieving Alberta's renewable energy goals?
This gives us a good fit. Government's goal of 30% renewable energy by 2030, that would require more than 35,000 acres of land. If we can use 10% of the abandoned or inactive sites, then we can meet that renewable energy goal.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Keith. It was so incredible to learn about your solar energy project and the difference that you are going to make in hopefully reclaiming some of those orphan wells and the land and putting it to good use for renewable energy.
Thank you, Rachel.